Hi everyone, Sue Matsuki for Nightlife Exchange with another Sue's Muse. Today I am delighted to have a good friend, Mark Hartman. Hi Mark, nice to see you.
Hi, Sue.
I'm so excited because he's producing along with David Sabella another Fiesta de Cabaret down in Puerto Vallarta. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this whole process. And first of all, I want to know why and how you thought to do this last year. Where did this come from?
Well, David Sabella and I were chatting about programs that we could bring to Puerto Vallarta. And one of the things that we've both been interested in is producing a cabaret workshop. Of course, that you and David wrote a lovely, lovely book called So You Want to Sing Cabaret. And you've both been so instrumental in sort of spreading the word about cabaret that it's something he's been interested in, and I've been interested in producing something like this ever since I began working with the Eugene O'Neill
Mhm.
um, Cabaret and Performance Conference uh, 13 years ago now.
Mhm.
And we both thought, well, it's time that we do something like this in one of our favorite places, Puerto Vallarta.
Mhm. So you've been living there, kind of co-living there back and forth and everything. And there is a very rich pool of talent down there, both locally and people coming in, expats and people like myself who come down who want to sing. So it's been joyous and wonderful. What did you learn between what you did last year in terms of how the flow of the program went versus what you're going to do this year?
Well, I think last year I sort of overscheduled everyone. It was a very intense
Rookie
program.
mistake.
I wanted to give people, if they're traveling internationally,
Yeah.
I really wanted to give them as much program as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Um, but one of the things that I think we all kind of figured out was, people would like some time on the beach.
It's Puerto
And
Vallarta.
it's Puerto Vallarta. You'd like to be able to explore the place you're going to,
Yeah.
and so we restructured the program a bit to give people sort of the same experience without the same time commitment
Mm.
every day. So we've sort of freed up everyone's afternoons. We're taking 2 days off in the course of the week instead of one.
That's good for the
Um,
instructors too, because they work just as hard. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
it's better for everyone,
Mhm.
and it's just going to be a fantastic program this
And
year.
tell me about your team this year, who you're bringing down for shows and we know the amazing Lina Koutrakos is going to be the lead cabaret coach. Tell me a little bit about your staff.
Absolutely. So Lena's the principal teacher. David Sabella is going to lead vocal tech sessions. Each of the singers will get two private sessions with David. Um,
And that's different
so
from other courses because getting an actual vocal coach session is a little like it's a bonus for a class like this because I've never been to a class where that's been included. So I think that's pretty cool.
Right. It's something that we were committed to because so many programs don't offer anything about vocal technique. They sort of expect that the singer you are when you come in is the singer that you can be, or at
Mhm.
least the singer sort of where you are.
Right.
And we feel like by offering these vocal tech sessions as well, people can sort of see the possibilities that their instrument has that they may not be aware of.
And then you have three amazing musical directors. Tell me a little bit about them and tell me why you're not taking on the role of a musical director. I'm sure you have too much to do overseeing all of this, but I'm curious about that.
Yes, I wanted to just be an administrator. I wanted to be around to be a resource. I wanted to play some shows um, and really have the time to sort of focus on that and the program itself and make sure that the program itself was running smoothly. I'd love to be behind the piano all day. It's my favorite place to be. But I thought um, people should get multiple perspectives.
Mhm.
A lot of the folks in Puerto Vallarta, especially sort of the local expat types that want to participate in the program, as well as many of the Mexican nationals that will be part of the program, they see me all the time. So I wanted to bring down as many perspectives as I could.
And you have
We
the
have
amazing
Tracy
Tracy
Stark,
Stark, Yaz,
exactly,
David Maiocco. You
exactly.
can't go wrong with
David
them.
Maiocco and Yaz Fukuoka. They're just three of the absolute best in the business, um, both in terms of creativity and their ability to work with singers.
And do you kind of listen to the voices like the first session and kind of say, okay, this person has a more jazzy or slant, maybe Yaz is good for them, or musical theater, Mayoko is good for them, or is it, do they get to choose who they work with? How does that work?
Typically, I do the selection for now,
Okay.
based on the videos that I get in the submissions. I can tell
Who
pretty
would
much
work best?
who
Yeah.
I think is gonna work best.
Yeah.
That may change in years to come, but I because of the way I've structured the program, I sort of need to know in advance so I can make sure that the right people are in the right rooms at the right
Yeah, it's
time.
kind of like one of
And
those
then
little number game things where you have to put everything in order. Yeah.
it's Tetris. It's absolute calendar Tetris.
And the participants get to sing literally every day, not just in class, but then there's this open mic, and then there's a master class show with, I think this year you have Natalie Douglas and Lennie Watts coming down to do an actual show, and then there'll be the day after lecture, and then another surprise guest to be announced.
Yes, well, I can actually announce the surprise guest,
Oh, good. Who's that?
the delightful Mia Pinero.
Oh, fantastic.
She was on Broadway in West Side Story and Sweeney Todd just recently. I've been a friend and a fan of hers for such a long time, and I find that that she'll bring a because uh, she's younger, she's fresher, she's from the Broadway community as well,
Right.
um, and she has a brilliant debut solo album that is also a show called Growing Up that she's going to
Fantastic.
to Puerto Vallarta. So I'm so excited about that.
Well, for
I'm
those of
excited to
you
have her.
watching this, right below here, there's a full press release on the whole event. There's a link that you can click on, and it'll take you directly to registration. And below that, there are a bunch of testimonials, which I don't think you've seen them all, Mark. You're going to be very, very happy with what people said about last year's experience. So some of our participants from last year gave beautiful testimonials. And we had people who are seasoned pros, especially some of the talent down there who are actually performing in Puerto Vallarta, who, you know, have jobs as singers, participate in our little cabaret thing. And then we had up and comers, and then we had everyone in between, and they all came away with something unique and special, which when you look at some of these testimonials below, you'll hear what each of them took from what they experienced last year. What is your goal as the producer of this event? What do you want people to walk away with in terms of discovering what cabaret is?
Well, what I'm very interested in is sort of exploring more what the actuality of cabaret performance is rather than the image of cabaret. You know, we so often see, you know, the lovely lady in the beaded gown standing in front of a grand piano with the gentleman in a
Or
tuxedo.
this?
Exactly. You know, singing the standards of the golden age. And believe me, I love that kind of show. You know, put me in a room with Cole Porter and Rogers and Hart, and I'm in heaven. However, um, one of the things I said in an early session last year is when you're actively communicating a lyric to a smaller room of people, that's cabaret,
Mhm.
and that includes stand up, that includes playing in a band in a bar, that includes any sort of small performance venue where you're interested in communicating the idea behind the music
You know,
and
one
the
of the gals
lyrics.
who's working down there and that I interviewed, and you'll get to see that her testimonial below, she's she said that her biggest takeaway was the connection to the lyric thing, the thing that we are about in cabaret, and said that it taught her how to sing for people rather than at people. And I thought that was profound and basically, in a nutshell, says what we try to do as educators. We try to get people to go into their lyrics and to feel what they're doing and to be present in the moment. So I applaud you for that. I mean, last year's classes were spectacular. We saw growth from day one through to the last concert. Lay out the format of how it's going to work. Like, what is the schedule like for anyone wanting to participate?
Sure. The first day, we'll do a huge group class with all the instructors and all the music directors, and we'll sort of sing for each other and see who is around and what that energy is in the group. And we'll start with sort of breakdown classes the next week. Sorry, the next day.
Mhm.
Um, and we'll be doing a bunch of the people with Lina the first day, and a few with David Sabella doing their private sessions, and we'll sort of rotate through like that until the end of the program. Each night there will be a some sort of show. The opening night, it'll just be a staff show where the staff sort of gets to show everyone both in the
Who they are and
community
what
and
they
in the
do. Yeah.
program
Yeah.
the goods, who they are, and what they have and what they bring to the table. And then the guests start coming in. Natalie Douglas, a 14-time MAC award winner. Lennie Watts, 22-time
22.
MAC
I
award
know. I
winner.
corrected that on the press
Yes,
release. I'm like, what?
I know. I mean, it's as a performer, as a director,
Yeah.
just every
He's
Lennie's
one
done
of the
everything. He's
funniest people on the
fantastic.
planet, too. You're going to love him.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't wait for people to meet Lennie,
I know.
both again in the community as well as in the program.
Yeah.
And Mia. Lina will of course do a show. David Maiocco is going to do one of his fabulous Liberace shows, which is going to be spectacular. David Sabella is bringing a show, and of course we will cap the whole thing off with a group show of all the students.
Well, I have to say that well, three actually of the performers from last year's class debuted their solo shows this year. Stephanie did one, and it was to great acclaim. And then Robert Ryan did one, and they are both bringing their shows here to New York. So the potential of really honing your craft by taking this class and the contacts that you're going to make through all of us who work for this program will be to your benefit in terms of future programming and stuff like that. So consider that as well. It's money well spent, I think. And you're in the best hands. I mean, Lena's my personal director. Lennie Watts is one of my favorite people on the planet. Tracy, yes, and David Maiocco. I'm doing a show with David Maiocco in Connecticut. So this is the family that we build, and it stays with us for a long time. So I encourage all of you to consider doing this class in Puerto Vallarta, where it's sunny and beautiful. It's the perfect time of year for it too. So
It's a great little getaway, and it's not only a group of people who love and respect each other on the staff, they also happen to be the best in the business.
yeah. And the club, it's called Act Two PV, and there's three working rooms. There's the cabaret kind of open mic room, and then there's the red room, which is the more fancy solo show cabaret room, and then there's a big theater. So it's a good club to play too, I have to say, good lights and sound. So you're gonna be in the best possible place if you want to actually learn how to do this. And we would love to teach you how to do this. So, Mark,
Absolutely.
any last words, honey?
Just to say that we are so excited that our inaugural season went so well that we can offer the program again, and we can't wait to see who we're going to meet down there.
Cool. Registration right down below. All you have to do is click and go check everything out. Press release, just look below this interview, and we hope to see you down in Puerto Vallarta in November. It's actually November 3rd through 12th, correct?
Right. The shows are November 3 through 11,
Okay.
and the final class day is November 12th.
The family sending everybody off is on the 12th to say goodbye to each other. All right, cool. All right,
Exactly.
guys, we'll see you down in Puerto Vallarta. Have a great day,
Thanks
everyone.
so
Thank you
much.
for joining me, honey. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Sue.
Take care, everyone.